Found out my wife cheated on me after 14 years together. Me and my wife first met at the university, not in USA, when we were 17 years old. After that, she distantly liked me for about 2 years, but I did not really know her well. Then we connected and fell deeply in love. Yup, we were young, but still. I was a high-achieving, top student in the university. With multiple, very rare skills for my age, lots of hobbies, music, sports, etc., extracurricular activities and achievements. At most stages of my life, everyone I got acquainted to seemed to have a very high expectations of me. She was a top student as well, but with less skills and interests at the time. I always had interest from girls. I was tall, handsome, blue-eyed fit guy, so I did not need to do much. She was very beautiful as well, angel-faced girl with blue eyes and a great body. In my 3rd year at the university, I found my first job. She started to work as well. While I was moving between my first 3 jobs, I was an early achiever. I founded my first startup at the age of 20 with my friends. The startup took much time and energy from me at different stages of my life. Without success, we will get back to that later. At age 23, we got married. That was the first time we had actual closeness. I know, so stupid, as we were from a very traditional society. I planned a surprise trip to Europe and asked her to marry me in a very romantic setting. I helped her to land her first and second corporate jobs, by recommending her and later helping her prepare presentations. She was a great prospect and she thrived. Soon after the marriage, I had to leave my job, as the project I was leading was shut down. I got back to the aforementioned startup and lost 1.5 years on it. Whereas she continued to thrive in her job and got financially independent. As I worked on my startup, it could barely support myself financially and did not have money to spend on us and her as much as I wanted to. As she was the one who got financially independent after our marriage, we never created a shared account or budget, which appeared to be crucial at later stages of our lives. At 25, she got pregnant. We moved to another country briefly and came back after 6 months. While being there, I got a message from some woman stating that my wife was meeting another guy. At first, I did not believe it, but after confronting her, she confessed that she was just platonically involved with a high school sweetheart and that she ended that relationship half a year ago. The news shook me. I fell into depression. I felt like a failure in both relationship and career. However, at the time I did not recognize that it was a depression, as mental health was not a much discussed topic in our society. As we came back to the country, she started a new job, but it did not work out, and for the first time in her life, she was left without income. However, I had already started a good job at a big startup with quite a good income and sustained us for several months, before she got a new job, which I helped her to land by preparing some files and presentations. However, history repeated itself and the startup I worked for was shut down, after which I started individual consulting business, which generated quite a good income. During this period, I got somatic symptoms of depression and was treated with antidepressants, but no therapy was involved. I had gained considerable weight, my hair receded a lot, perfect timing. Anhedonia settled in, I abandoned all my hobbies, stopped going out with my friends, stopped caring about my appearance. That also changed my attachment style. As I became anxious, I was always secure before. All I wanted to do was to come home after the stressful day and be at home with my wife and child. That was all that brought me happiness. Later on, about 1 year after having a baby, my wife confessed to me that she met the same person again several times, but ended things for the good and was not going to see him ever again. My mistake was not to dig deep into details and find out what was missing in our relationship. I just assumed it would be a lesson for her and she would never do it again. About 2 years ago, she changed her job and became a head of one of the biggest organizations in her field. Her income rose significantly. I founded my consulting agency, which started off really nicely, but got hit by the pandemic. However, it finally became successful in recent months. During last several years, I covered monthly mortgage and basic financial needs of our family as she had more freedom to spend on other, mostly more pleasurable things and activities. Therefore, she was the one to initiate weekend getaways, trips, etc. Moreover, I was not able to plan vacations, as she had to spend 1 month abroad with her mother due to visa requirements. She mostly went there alone. This shifted the power dynamic, as she would make more decisions. At the same time, I felt as I was not able to provide us the lifestyle that I wanted, be as romantic as I wished to be. But I compensated that by being a loving, caring and supporting husband and father. She became more and more active on social media. She looked as great as ever, beautiful, charming. She started new hobbies and became very good at them. During that period, I found out that she flirted online with several men. But she apologized and told me that she thought that was nothing serious and she would stop acting that way. About 6 months ago, she called me, cried and told me that she had to tell me something. I met her at lunch and that's when she admitted that she lost attraction towards me. And it has been that way for several years already. That was the first time she said there was anything wrong with our relationship. I asked her for reasons and she vaguely pointed to my appearance. She did not say anything else, so I asked her to wait for me and decided to get in shape. She agreed. I lost considerable weight, my business got better, my projects became viral, I finally got success from my initiatives. I could provide us a lifestyle I wanted. But that cost me a lot. If I chose a stable, corporate life instead of entrepreneurship, I would have been so much ahead financially so much earlier. But that's when the worst happened. One night, as I woke up and I came out to the living room, I found my wife FaceTiming with a smile on her face. As she saw me, she quickly ended the call and said goodbye to her mother. However, I instantly knew something was off. I confronted her, took her phone and demanded from her to tell me what was going on. She resisted for about 15 minutes, but later she broke down in tears and told me everything that she didn't tell me before. She was offended by some a-hole in a car about a year after our marriage, 9 years ago, but she couldn't tell me, as at the time she thought it was her fault that she allowed this to happen. She had an ongoing, full-blown affair with her work subordinate that I knew for 2 months already, and she fell in love with him. They had closeness several times in the car on the way from their work to our house. My life was shattered. She pulled a rug beneath my feet when I loved her with all my heart. I was enraged, but that lasted no more than 2 hours. After that, deep sadness settled. We spent the next day together. She was deeply remorseful and wanted to make sure that I was not going to leave her. I left home for 2 days to cool off and we agreed to talk when I would be back. She told AP that she was choosing the family and ended things. However, they still work in adjacent rooms. And she is still attracted to him. As I returned, I asked her what she was thinking. At first, she said that she would be forever faithful. But then paused and told me that she rehearsed this line so many times, but she would not be honest if she promised that. She said was not happy and was tired of wearing the happy wife mask for so long. Did anyone ask her to act that way? During the following weeks we had several deep discussions. I wanted to know what was the main issue in our relationship, what was the reason she lost attraction. She had not thought about the details, but I dug deeper to find answers. As it appears, she liked me leading the relationship both financially and in terms of decision-making. As the dynamic shifted, she tried to remove this expectation from our relationship, but when she did, that's when she stopped respecting me and consequently lost attraction towards me. She despised that she had to work on some a-holes, when I did not choose to work in the same environment and followed my ideals. Also, she thought I did not want to be socially active, to look good and be a respected person in our social circle. Moreover, I found out that she faked her peaks during the closeness, but always finished during the foreplay. I was the one who always initiated new things in bedroom, who brought in toys and spiced up the bed life. Why did not she tell me about it before? She knew I would make sure she was satisfied. Why did not she communicate her unmet needs during these years? Her answer was she thought it was obvious, and more than that, she did not have guts to do so. Also that she did not know how depression affects people, but now she does. She talked about our relationship issues only with her female coworker, one more red flag, who had depressed, jobless husband. That girl would project her reality on our relationship as well. She was always envious of my wife and displayed that on multiple occasions, but my wife did not see that clearly until recently. However, she continues to be friends with her on some level. On the contrary, I never discussed our relationship with any of my friends. After initial talks, my wife said she was not ready for any decision and we decided to go to individual therapists. She also agreed to couples counseling. During the following weeks, I was deranged. Initially, I decided to go no contact, but did not like that idea and chose to start dating my wife again, to remind her of the past days and who I really was before depression. After several days, she told me it was the first time in forever that she felt something while hugging and kissing me, but attraction was still not there. She said she thought not everything was lost, and that she felt calm after telling me all the truth, the feeling she did not have for many years. However, during some of our meetings I secretly checked on her phone, then became jealous, and that changed our dynamic once again. At the moment, we meet about 2 times a week with and without child. We hug, kiss, even dance sometimes. But she does not want to be together at the moment. She does not know anything about the future, she did not make any decision. She even told me to date other women so that she would not feel as guilty and would know that I am okay. She says I am her soulmate, her person, but has no attraction towards me, which she found is very important for her. She loves me but is not in love with me anymore. She also says she has feelings for him. Yes, I was not a perfect partner, I was depressed and not living up to my potential, but I never stopped being a hardworking, attentive, loving, supportive husband and father. I never deserved this. The person she is now, the skills she has, the ideas she follows, were greatly influenced and provided by me. She even said herself that she surely would not be where she is in life without me. I, on contrary, would be much further in life if I felt true support and partnership from my wife. I still love her deeply. I never lost attraction, never searched for any flaws in her, I put her on pedestal. When couples counselor asked her about me, she said, "He is the nicest, most genuine person, kind, intellectual, great father and a great human." As for what she did not like in me, she said I did not take care of myself and was too oriented on her. That I was too scrupulous in some things. A typical nice guy description, which I despise. I know I let her disrespect my boundaries on multiple occasions. I know she has some skewed image of me in her mind after years of discussions with her friend and due to my depression. I know she acted very selfish. But I still deeply love her even with her limitations. The thing is that she has very high standards in all areas of her life. She is very disciplined, very professional, truthful, caring and kind to other people, very gifted, artistic, full of life and positive energy. I am the only person that she treated with lowest standards. I would love her to truly realize what she has done, how low she fell. To work on herself and grow as much as possible. However, at the moment I am the only one reading relationship and self-discovery books, watching videos. That has been the case as long as I remember. I would spend hours on understanding things and she would get the main takeaways from me. The only thing I know I should do and try to do is to concentrate on myself, to become the best version of me as soon as possible. But the pain is insufferable. I can't sleep. I can't concentrate on my work. I somehow managed to bury the images of affair deep in my mind, not to get flashbacks. But I don't want to lose her. I know if she tried we could work things out, we could rekindle the fire, but I can't make that decision on her behalf. I never told this story to anyone other than the therapists. I don't know what do I expect from you, advice, support or reality check. I just needed to tell it to someone.